Back here on CGW, earlier this week, Tiger flew away from Columbus, where they play the Memorial, to come here to the Washington area, and in the process, thoroughly entertained the 130 or so reporters and media hangers-on who registered at the news conference Wednesday at Congressional. Tiger held every one of them right in the palm of his hand. This guy is just as impressive and imposing in person as he is on the golf course. Our contributing editor, Hillary Fordwich, was at that media gaggle and joins us right now.
Yes.
It was quite a performance, wouldn't you say?
Well, it was, and as you said, I mean, he has so much going for him. It reminds me of what Jack Kennedy once said, you know, life isn't fair. Some people seem to get all the looks, the money, the athletic ability, the intelligence. As you said, the charisma. He held the audience as if he was a pro in the business world and in the professional world that we all exist in as well.
Well,
outstanding.
That is one of your areas of expertise, too, and I wanted to get to that. You helped me out on this.
Okay.
This is a guy who could span just about any chasm, it seems to me.
Correct.
He moves very smoothly between the people and the rich and powerful, and that just doesn't happen. In my lifetime, the only other person that I remember with that kind of command was also a sports figure, Muhammad Ali.
Correct, he did, yes. And I think, and not just also, I mean, you happen to have mentioned somebody of ethnicity, but to be somebody of ethnicity, to have that and do that as well, I mean, something added. It's not like life has been particularly easy for Tiger. When he was a little boy, there were lots of tragedies that he went through because of his ethnicity, so he holds it with absolutely no problem at all with that as well. Very outstanding.
They say fire hardens metal, and maybe that's
it does.
Maybe that's what happened.
Yes.
All right, let's talk a little bit about his golf tournament right now. They're going to play Congressional as a 70 and par 70 rather than the 72 the way the members and the ordinary citizens play it.
Correct.
And he said the other pros can blame him for that because that's how he wants to play it. That's how they set up the 97 Open, and he wants it the same way.
He said in 97 that they all enjoyed it and they liked playing it that way because it was fair, challenging but fair, and I think that's how he also looks at life. He likes a challenge and he likes things to be fair.
They have changed Congressional a little bit. If you played the blue course a while back and you play it now, there are two big changes. One is they used to finish up, 18 used to be a par 3 across some water, but they've changed, they've completely flipped that now so that it's number 10 and you play from where the green used to be back toward the tee.
Correct.
And number 17, that wonderful downhill long par 4 to a peninsula green, is the finishing hole. I think that's a great move.
No, I think it is, and I think for the crowds, it gives you that entire pond to be able to look at everything that's going on. So now you'll have the 10th and the 17th, 18th, all in that same venue, so it becomes, I think, more of a spectator's heaven.
And speaking of spectators, Tiger is doing something here that I think is almost unheard of.
The military and the children,
30,000 tickets to this thing he is donating that'll be
for the military.
Passed out through the Military District of Washington. 5,000 tickets a day for the 6-day run of the thing, 2 practice rounds and the 4 days of the tournament. What a remarkable thing.
Yes, he is. He's doing that for the military, and he's also talked about it being a family picnic, that he wants children to be able to attend, and no matter how many children you have, so it's $10 per child. So in terms of being absolutely all-American on the July 4th holiday, he talked about the fact that it's the capital of our nation, nowhere better to have the military, children, and when he talked about 5,000, I think 5,000 of those people will be rooting for Tiger, and a big thank you.
I don't think there's any question about who the vast majority of them will be rooting for. Yesterday, or not yesterday, or earlier this week, in the news conference, there was one question in particular that we want to bring back so that you get a chance to hear it, and my guess is you will very likely recognize the voice.
Are you thinking even now about running for the presidency one day?
Hell no. 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 Next.
Is that a no?
Well, the reason I asked it was because everything he does is so politically correct. He plans out his game. He has a strategy for everything, involving the military and the children. When you asked, is it a no, I actually thought it was a big yes. Who wants to have the next 20 or so years being plagued by that question? And the way he said it, I'm convinced he's going to one day, actually.
I think in this, the capital of all politics, there'll be a lot of people who sort of head out there and just to size him up and to see, okay, what kind of a leader might he be for something like that.
With mass appeal.
We have talked in the past about how the Summer Pro Golf Tournament in the Washington area, became a magnet for business, for political types and things like that to sort of come together and all sort of celebrate things.
Yeah.
Over the 4th of July now, you've got, this is a complete nexus this time. If there ever was any doubt about, did I have to do this for the 4th of July, seems like Tiger sort of trumps that, and yes, now you have to do that.
I think that you do. The only caveat to that, Dave, is one, this has always been historically the lowest viewership in terms of any golf tournament in the nation. You have to think about the fact that a lot of affluent people already had their beach houses booked. A lot of our viewers already have golf trips planned out of town. One of my thoughts was that maybe by giving the military free tickets and children coming in at sort of such a low price, he's appealing to a huge crowd that he knows will be in town. Because you have to make sure you have attendance over a weekend. Since this has only started, what? Something like, 83 days ago,
yeah.
They started planning this. 83 days ago, everybody's booked their trip for this time of year. So I think that's part of his thinking, again, strategically.
I think, though, if the closer we get to this thing, that suddenly people are hearing that, well, yes, Tiger is definitely going to be here. Some of those changes, some of those plans might get changed.
Well, they may, but none of us can say definitely, because as we know, it's up to good old nature and his wife as to when the baby may arrive.
Elin and the baby, I think, have the ultimate say in all this.
Yes, they do.
But in the meantime, it is setting up for something the likes of which we don't see very often around here, an absolute must-see. I may be at the beach watching the thing,
but I'll watch. I think this region, I think everybody in this region, someone in their family will watch. That's the difference with Tiger. It's the mass appeal that he has. It's not just the classic old dad that wants to watch the golf. It's family, it's children, it's people of ethnicity. He has broadened the golf audience, and I bet he'll do that for this tournament and for our region. And you asked the question about business. I think business is going to use this in no other way that we've seen the likes of since probably the days of the old Kemper.
Very interesting stuff.
Yes.
Gil, it's always a pleasure. Thank
Great,
you so much.
absolutely, Dave.
That's going to do it for this edition of Toyota's Capital Golf Weekly. For all our guests, the entire CGW crew, I'm Dave Lucas. Play well. We'll see you here next time.